Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, and welcome back to another live stream. Good morning or good day, depending on where you're from. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's week going so far? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good day, depending on where you're from. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. Let me just check to see if the background music is too loud. Let me turn that down just a tad. All right, let's try that one. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's day is going well. Hope everybody's week is going well. We'll give a minute for people to join before we get into any information. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good day, depending on where you're from. Good morning, Mr. Nobody. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, One Girl Trader. Good morning, Yassine. Good morning, Phone. Good morning, JR. Good morning, Mafuzar. Good morning, Percy. Good morning, Saju. Good morning, Junya. Good morning, Ziki. Good morning, Rama. Good morning, Nick Garner. Good morning, Uturo. Good morning, Talal. Good morning, Vuk. Good morning, Tatiana. Good morning, Jorit. Good morning, Hamza. Shravan, what's up? Mario, what's up? Francis, what's up? It's Nay, good morning. T, good morning. I see Sniper Kills, good morning. TB, good morning. Rafa, good morning. Ed, good morning. Graham, how are you doing today? Granite, hello. Mint, hello. Ganesh, hello. Trader Cairo, good morning. Mike, good morning. Zemel, good morning. Anne, good morning. Lisa, good morning. Ronnie, Justin, AB Forex, Voss, Musta, good morning, good morning, good morning. Frank, good morning. Andy, good morning. Zadam, good morning. Marcel, good morning. Dean, good morning. TikTok, good morning. Assad, good morning. Anthony, what's up? Zadim, what's up? Gaetano, how are you doing today? Steven, good morning. Reese, good morning. Ada Wall, good morning. Peter, good morning. Jericho, good morning. Sharky, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. Let's see how the community is doing this week. Throw a 1 in the chat if you're green on the week. Throw a 2 in the chat if you're red on the week. Throw a 3 in the chat if you have yet to participate this week. See how the community is doing so far this week. Couple 1s, couple 2s, couple 3s. Looks like a mixed bag so far. There's no doubt about the volatility that is in the marketplace right now. Without a doubt, once Trump got into office, we have been seeing some volatile moves. There's nothing easy about it. But we continue to keep showing up. Every single day is another learning opportunity. Conviction is built through experience. So no matter the outcome, we have to continue to keep moving forward. Let's continue to keep relentlessly working and learning every single week. That way we can get to our goals. That way we can develop this business. The repetition is what builds the muscle memory. When you complete the same justifications to your actions every single day, that's what builds the muscle memory. Again, conviction is built through experience. You have to be able to go through the experience and obtain the data, no matter the outcome. You cannot be deterred by your results. If you allowed your emotions to make the decisions, anytime you have a bad loss, then you're going to tilt. And that's what we need to stay away from. We need to understand that this business is truly 80% mental, 20% chart. Therefore, we need to have the mental and emotional intelligence to become a better operator. It doesn't matter what model you use. I don't care if you use support and resistance. I don't care if you use indicators. I don't care if you use the unicorn. It doesn't matter what model you use. What matters is your actions aligning with your words. Your ability to be mentally and emotionally strong enough to always manage your risk. You have to be mentally and emotionally strong enough to be thinking in terms of probabilities and to be thinking in terms of risk. We cannot allow those emotions to induce actions that blow accounts, that ruin our risk management. The market doesn't care about how you feel. So never allow it to tilt you. Okay, we have to submit to time. Submit to time and realize that we need to gain experience no matter the outcome. Okay, so let's keep working. Let's keep failing forward. And then objectively learn from those opportunities. Okay, so I hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. We got New York Open coming up here shortly. Just want to make sure that we're in the right mindset, that we're properly prepared. Right? A professional athlete practices how they play. If you're not even prepared to show up to the game, then you're not going to be ready during the game. The music, is it, let me see, is that still too loud? I could turn it down even more. All right, let's see. Maybe that'll work. No, it's great. Okay. All right. Just, I didn't know if it was too loud or not. Please definitely do let me know if it is. So we'll see what New York Open has here for us. Now, the daily chart is in a tough spot. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the daily here. The daily has been stuck in a tight range, in a tight consolidation. Look at this. I mean, we're just bouncing back and forth here. There's nothing clean about this. There's nothing clean about this. So let's be objective to market structure. Okay? Let's be objective to price. Let's be very patient for the sole fact that there's no clear indication of where price is reaching for. We're just consolidating within a daily range. For this reason, I would rather be neutral than force some type of bias onto price action. Everybody knows how I determine bias. Swing highs, swing lows, or FVGs. Well, here's a swing high, here's a swing high, here's a swing high, here's a swing low, here's a swing low, here's a swing low. So we can't use any of those. On top of the fact that we're just kind of bouncing between two FVGs, right? Like if we extend this out in time, we extend this out in time. Right? There's nothing easy about this. And what I have to say about that is anytime you cannot clearly identify price action, that would be a time to be patient. That would be a time to sit on the sidelines and wait until you can clearly define price. Day trading is not everyday trading. We have to think in terms of probabilities. And probabilities are developed through the justifications to our actions. The way that we develop a bias is what creates probabilities. If you can't clearly develop a bias, sit on your hands. Wait. Wait until you can. For this reason, I have no bias today. I'm going to be neutral for today. I'm going to objectively analyze price instead of forcing a bias on price. Right? So I have no bias because of this reason. When I develop a bias, I'm looking at swing highs, swing lows, or FVGs. And right now, neither one of them are providing any type of clear bias. Right? We can point out every single swing low or swing high. We can point out every single FVG. Both sides of the marketplace are finding support and resistance from these locations. We cannot clearly say we're moving higher right now. We cannot clearly say we're moving lower right now. The only thing that I can clearly say is that we're consolidating, right? It's just this range continues to get tighter and tighter. Right? Where are my bear flags and bull flag traders? Just consolidating in this tight range here. So for today, I'm more than okay with being patient, waiting, and being objective to market structure. That's why you saw in the opening of the stream this right here. So if I can't identify anything on the daily chart, I'm going to go to the market structure timeframes, either the hourly or the 15-minute. Now, this is something a little more clear in my opinion, right? Equal highs. We know equal highs is one of our best forms of draw on liquidity. The way that we engage with price is breaker blocks that have FEGs aligned with it. So the things that we can identify, that's what I was pointing out. And that's why I am pointing it out again. So currently, what I'll look for is, we'll see if the breaker block plus FEG continues to provide support for price, with the draw on liquidity being the equal highs. I'm going to be objective to market structure. And that's what this is here. Something we can identify, our concepts, along with a clear draw on liquidity. Very clean equal highs there. Okay. So as we're waiting and watching, please feel free to throw any questions or comments in chat. We can gladly go over any information. Where's the FEG? Right? Small, but present. Okay, so first things first, you have to realize that this occurred before the market opened. Along with this not being clean, right? Why did it take so long to get through the breaker? Why isn't there clear and decisive displacement, right? Why is that FEG so small? These are the things that determine the probabilities. Okay? These are the things that you ask yourself to see if you're willing to risk or not. Okay? You have to also understand time, right? Get over here. We have a red folder coming up. So again, thinking in terms of risk, are you one of the individuals that are willing to risk before a red folder? Or do you wait until after the red folder? Another thing that creates probabilities and determines risk. If you're not capable of dealing with the volatility, very simple answer there, don't risk. Okay, so think in terms of risk, think in terms of probabilities. So we'll wait and watch. We'll see if we want to go run to the equal highs. Like I had stated, I have no bias. I'm being objective to price action. Objective means without influence. Right? Without influence is me saying this is a change in the state of delivery. right? Right here. This is a breaker block. This is a breaker block. It does have an FVG, along with the change in the state of delivery and the equal highs. And then you ask yourself, how clean is it? Was the displacement clear and decisive? Those are the things that create probabilities in which, as a trader, as a risk manager, that's what helps you decide whether you're willing to take the risk or not. Do you only allow yourself higher probability trades? Yes or no? So as we're waiting and watching, we'll see if price continues to get supported by the breaker block and FVG, along with the change in the state of delivery, and if it wants to reach for the equal highs. While we're doing that, I'll get over to chat and we'll go over some questions. Ash, the trade is already running. Are you waiting for it to get... Oh, excuse me. Ash, the trade is already running, or are you waiting for a mitigation? So whenever I use unicorns, whenever I use breaker blocks, I enter from the beginning of the breaker with the stop loss below it. So exactly what's looking like here. So if it just runs to the target without providing any entries, then there's no entry on this entry function. You sound like Peter Thiel if he didn't stutter. Thank you, but that is a legend right there, and I'm just a normal human being. Why is the stop loss below the swing low and not the breaker block? We've talked about this a handful of times. Stop loss location should be dependent on your experience. Right? I don't think that choking up your stop loss as tight as possible is a good idea for somebody that's learning the model, for somebody that has a lower amount of experience. When you're learning how to trade, submit to lower size and give yourself room to breathe. That's what you're looking at here. I'm sorry to ask, but does the FVG need to overlap the breaker? Yes, the FVG must overlap the breaker, or else I do not use it. An FVG is a 3-candle pattern in which the first and third candle do not overlap. The second candle creates a displacement so that the first and third candle do not overlap. Right, like take a look at this one. It's much easier to see here. Candle 1. Candle 2. Candle 3. It is a 3-candle pattern. 1, 2, 3. In which candle 1 does not overlap with candle 3. The space in between that is an FVG, a fair value gap. Is it just a personal preference as to why you don't use previous day high and low for daily bias? What I use for bias is swing highs, swing lows, and FEGs. So not every single time is a previous day high a swing point. The focus for me is swing points and FEGs. I use external liquidity to internal liquidity and vice versa. If we sweep a swing high, then I have a bearish bias because I think that price will move back internal to the FEG. But for this bullish order, the FEG doesn't have to be above the breaker. No, I'll say it one more time. The FEG needs to overlap the breaker. Not above, not below. Overlap it. Here's the breaker right here. Here's the breaker right here. Here's the FEG. So as long as the FEG is overlapping the breaker, consider it a unicorn. Let's say you're looking to short because of your bias. You look at the chart, and on the 5-minute, the stop hunt occurs, and then liquidity gets taken again. If a stop hunt, that candle, you gotta finish the question there. Let's say you're looking to short because of your bias. You look at the chart, and on the 5-minute, the stop hunt occurs, and then the liquidity gets taken again. If at the stop hunt, the candle that what? You gotta finish the question there. Hey, Ash, do you get your bias for the whole day? For me, a bias is simply to get you in and out of a position. I'm not looking to determine the daily candle closure. I'm not looking to determine the next 5 candles. The only thing I need to do is get in and out of a position. When I have a bias, that helps me understand what position I want to look for. If that position occurs during my hunting hours, I'll take it. If that position doesn't occur, then I have no trade. Okay, I see the rest of that question now. Let's say you're looking to short because of your bias. You look at the chart, and on the 5-minute, the stop hunt occurs, and then liquidity gets taken again. If at the stop hunt, the candle that took liquidity is red, do you count that as the lowest down close candle, or would it be the one after? The breaker block is the lowest down close candle before the leg up that took liquidity. Keyword, down close, so you're looking at closing price. Next keyword, before the leg up that took liquidity. Ready? Let's draw this out for you. Swing high, swing low, new swing high, new low. The breaker block will be found in this leg right here. The lowest down close candle in this leg right here. It would look like that. And you need to have an FEG aligned with the breaker block. Okay, that's the first example. Let's say, now we're going to do your example. Let's say we get a swing high, we get a swing low, we get a swing high, we get another new swing low, and we get another new swing high, and then we displace lower. The breaker block is still the lowest down close candle before the leg up that took liquidity, right? So anytime you take liquidity, you would have a new breaker block. Ready? So price took liquidity here, but it failed to displace through the breaker block. So I would no longer use that. Since price took liquidity again, this is the leg of price action that I'm looking at right here. The lowest down closure in this leg here would be the breaker block. That's for a short position. So the key here is each time price takes liquidity, you would have a new breaker block. As long as you have all of the institutional swing points. Swing high, swing low, new high, new low. You must have all of the institutional swing points. Hi, Ash. I'm curious to know what percentage of your trades would at least reach 1-to-1. I would have to go look at my stats. I'm currently trying to focus on New York Open. Sorry that I don't have more information for you. I would have to go over to my data to collect that. If you're more comfortable with doing a 1-to-1, please feel free to do that. A 5-minute short on oil. Let's see if you guys are correct. This, if you're looking at this as a short, this is already invalidated, right? If you're trying to say that this is a bearish breaker, you're already looking at invalidation. Okay. Another thing I have to say about this is I'm pretty sure, yeah, oil just tapped into a bullish FEG after taking out some equal lows. So this is not a location to be shorting here. The last thing that price just engaged with was a bullish FEG after taking out equal lows. You also have to understand that every single Wednesday, there's news for oil. So be aware of the news that's coming up on oil. Are you considering new week opening gap or new day opening gap to exit the trade before it reaches 2R? I do not use new day opening gap. I do not use new week opening gap. That's not a concept that I use. I do also have to say, I highly suggest you guys don't get lost in all of the different concepts. You should just focus on a specific set of concepts. And with that being said, less is more. Don't try to use 20 different criteria to get into a position. Think about it. If you had a checklist in front of you, and on that checklist, you have to check off 20 different things to get in a trade, it's going to be very hard to get into a trade, because there's going to be a very minimal amount of time that all 20 things are checked off. Instead, just use 1 or 2 concepts. Right? For me, I execute at New York Open. I develop a bias from the daily. I execute a unicorn aligned with that bias. 3 different things to my game plan. That's it. The more things you add to that list, the less trades you're going to have, the more confused you're going to be. Hey, Ash, what if in a situation where London session sweeps your bias for the day before New York session? So I'm a New York trader. Once again, I trade New York Open. So I develop my bias about an hour before the open. I would suggest doing the same. Create a bias 30 to an hour before the time that you're looking to engage with price. And then during your hunting hours, look for a position aligned with that bias. ES might be a bearish unicorn. Let's see if you guys are correct. Once again, there's a 10 a.m. news driver, so beware of that. Somebody's knocking on my door. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Sorry for the distraction. I was not expecting any visitors. Where do we leave off? Let's see. Get back in here. The 5 minute. Yeah. So once again, you got news coming up here in 2 minutes. So beware of the news. Yes, you have a swing low. Excuse me. Yes, you have a swing high, a swing low, a new high, then a new low. But again, news in 1 minute. Beware of the news. See if there's any higher time frame point of interest for this. It did sweep out. It did sweep out a swing point into an FVG as well. Just beware of the news. Got news coming up here in 20 seconds. All right, let's see if it wants to reach for the equal highs. Can you give a euro outlook? Take a look at euro. My current euro outlook. As you can see, it was already provided on the chart because it is one of the things that we cover in the mentorship. Euro bouncing from a daily FEG, moving internal to external. Right, so I'd be looking for higher prices to this external level here. That's what I have to say about euro. See what ended up happening with ES. Looks like it ran right to invalidation, right? So depending on where your stop loss was, this bearish setup was invalidated. Right, it ran all the way to the high there. This is why we have to be aware of news. For this exact reason. So, any other questions or comments, feel free to throw it in chat. Also, do me a favor, like the video, sub to the channel. We've been live streaming Wednesday New York Opens on YouTube for quite some time now. So if you want to join us for more live streams, that way you could be notified if you're subbed to the channel. Do I prefer the 15-minute over the 5? The majority of my executions are on the 5-minute chart. Along with the majority of my losses are on the 1-minute chart. I'm not sure where the misunderstanding is happening, Raphael. I don't know how else to more clearly say it, but an FEG must overlap the breaker. It doesn't matter how much it overlaps. It just has to overlap the breaker. It doesn't matter if it's a bullish position. It doesn't matter if it's a bearish position. A breaker plus an FEG is a unicorn. If the FEG is not overlapping the breaker, then it is not a unicorn. And I only trade the unicorn model. Can I pull up gold? Tap of a 4-hour FEG. Does get the tap there. That is a close one. It does get the tap there. And the 4-hour would be the higher time frame for the 15-minute. Very good job once again. Checkmate. Right, this would be the breaker here. Yeah, I agree with what you have. If the current candle can close above the breaker. Very good job. Do you know of any day traders using fundamentals for oil or indices? I don't really go looking for traders. I'm focused on my own business, so I'm sorry I don't have the answer to that one. Not really concerned with what other people are doing. I'm focused on my own business, so. Thoughts on the upcoming NFP for Dixie? I have no clue what's going to happen. Trying to predict a news driver is not a good idea. There's no one in here that could predict the future. So the only thing I could say is for NFP is that it's going to bring volatility. That's it. Am I in this trade? No, I'm not taking this trade. Yes, all live videos are recorded and uploaded to the page afterwards. Isn't an FVG an indicator of displacement? Yes. The presence of an FVG is the presence of displacement. Why am I not in this trade? Because I don't trade Wednesday to Friday of non-farm payroll week. SMT between ES and NQ on the 15-minute. That is correct. ES swept out the swing low here, while NQ did not. That is correct. Can you elaborate on rejection block? I don't use rejection blocks, so I'm going to have to say you're going to have to ask somebody else for that information. I'm not going to provide a low quality answer. If I don't have the information, then I'm going to have to defer to somebody else. I don't use rejection blocks. Ash, how do you manage the time rule on My Funded Futures? My Funded Futures has a inactivity rule in which you have to take a trade within 7 calendar days. So if you have not taken a trade within 6 days, on that 7th day, whether you find a model or not, you should complete a trade if you want to keep your accounts in good standing with the inactivity rule. If you're not willing to risk, just go as small size as possible and open up a trade and hold it for a couple minutes. All right, go grab one micro and hold it for a few minutes. There's no reason to ruin your account balance. Go as small size as possible and just hold it for a couple minutes. This SMT means NQ is the stronger pair. That is correct. The pair that creates the failure swing is either the stronger or weaker pair. So when looking at bullish SMT, the pair that creates the failure swing is the stronger pair. Vice versa for bearish SMT. The inactivity rules for funded accounts. What is your higher time frame bias? I do not have a bias today. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, we talked about bias during market open. Is there a 1 minute unicorn? If you're looking at a bearish one, right? Swing high, swing low, new high, new low. If you're referring to a bearish one, hi, with my funded futures, there's a rule that says you cannot be in a trade 2 minutes before and after a news release. Is it mandatory, or since you can demonstrate that you are sticking to your strategy, is that okay? So just be certain which account you choose, because certain accounts allow news trading, while others do not. So please read the rules before you purchase any accounts. There are certain accounts where you're allowed to trade the news, where there's also accounts where you're not. Read the rules before you purchase an account. If you purchase an account in which you are not allowed to trade the news, then do not trade the news. Follow the rules. It triggered my buy limit. How long must I hold? There's no time limit. How long must I hold? There's no time limit. Right? If you took the entry and you had a limit at 506 and you're looking at plus 30 points, you wanted to take your profit, you could take your profit. You need to understand how you manage your positions. I think he was referring to the activity rule. The activity rule is different than the news rule. Those are two different things. The activity rule is that you must take a trade within 7 days, 7 calendar days. That's for my funded futures. And that's for a funded account. That is different than the news rule. Some accounts on my funded futures, you're allowed to trade the news, while other accounts, you are not allowed to trade the news. So make sure you read the rules before you purchase an account. What makes this a unicorn? A unicorn is simply a breaker block plus an FVG. That's what a unicorn is. Yeah, so if you chose the account that you cannot trade the news, then do not trade the news. Wait. Simply just give it 5 minutes until after the news to even consider entering any positions. Where is the FVG in the setup? Here it is right here. FVG is right there. Small, but present. What time frame is that? It says it right here on the screen. Do you exit a trade if price consolidates? You should determine your management before the position occurs, right? If you are a set it and forget it type of management, then set your limit orders and wait until one of the limit orders are tagged. If you're one of the individuals that are trying to analyze price while you're in the position, then you might choose otherwise. You have to understand your management before you take a position. Me personally, I'm a 1 to 2 risk to reward, set it and forget it type of trader. The time frame is right here. I already circled it. What is the confusion here? Did you take this trade? Well, if I said I don't take trades from Wednesday to Friday of non-farm payroll week, it's pretty clear on I did not take the trade. Looks like a 1 minute unicorn. Yeah, once again, if you're talking about the bearish one, there is a bearish one here, but there is no bullish one. There's no bullish position there. Not on the 1 minute chart. You are correct if you're saying a bearish one. Do you still acquire more buying power and scale up through prop firms, or are you satisfied with what you have? Well, Apex told me I can't purchase any more accounts until 2026. So can't scale there. My funded futures only has 3 funded accounts at one time. So also can't scale there. I could look at Top Step. but I have not done that yet. Got blocked on Apex? Yeah. Took back-to-back withdrawals on Apex, and then the next thing I know, they're asking me to identify myself, and then I identify myself, and that leads them to saying I'm not allowed to purchase any more accounts until 2026. Would you have taken this trade if it was not Wednesday of non-farm payroll week? No, I would not have. This position occurred before my hunting hours. I look to confirm my criteria at or after the opening times. So, right, this is 3 a.m. here. Breaker blocks from 3 a.m. and it was confirmed at 7:45 a.m. I participate in price from 8:30 a.m. to about lunchtime. That's when I look for positions. I look to confirm all of my criteria to my positions during that time frame. So if it occurred before that time frame, I wouldn't use it. Ash, why don't you use continuation unicorns? I have used continuation unicorns. If I had a preference, I would rather use reversals because of the risk to reward, but I have used both. I do not have a bias today. There's nothing clear on the daily chart. For that reason, I'm neutral for today, being objective to market structure. Do I use StatMap less than when I first obtained it? No, I still use it the same. Nothing has changed there. Would you consider a unicorn being retested a bunch of times a weak signal? No, price is either respecting it or it's not. If I had a preference, yeah, I would want it to play out within the first time. But that's more of a emotional preference. That's not a being objective to price action. Right? Like, for example, this thing has been tested 1, 2, 3 times, maybe even 4 times. It's still a breaker block plus an FEG. Either way, it's still providing support to price. In terms of strength or weakness, we use SMT to determine that. And the fact that NQ put in bullish SMT here at the location of our unicorn, that still shows that there's strength in the marketplace. SMT is what determines strength or weakness. I have multiple videos on StatMap. There's a playlist on my YouTube if you want to check out that playlist. I go in depth regarding StatMap. There's also an interview with Juno. Me and Juno also go over an in-depth review of StatMap. Both of those videos are on my YouTube. on 4-hour NQ and ES are reacting to bullish FEGs but not moving higher in a significant way. This is a moment in time that you guys have to submit to time, right? I think everybody is looking for some sort of instant gratification. All the analysis here still stands, right? I understand that price did not immediately run to our target, but the time in which it takes to get to the target doesn't determine whether the position is still valid or not. Right? Instant gratification, that's not going to happen. You have to learn how to deal with delayed gratification. Because how long have we been looking at this now? Right? It's been since the beginning of stream, so more than an hour. Analysis hasn't changed yet. Everything still remains the same. I understand that it's taking more than an hour to play out. That doesn't determine the validity of this unicorn. Price is either respecting it or it's not. That's it. We have to be objective to price. We cannot force some type of timeline onto price. This is the problem with most backtesting tools. Exactly. Exactly. This is exactly why I don't like backtesting. I would rather trade the live market. Because the live market, you cannot click a button and obtain a new candle. You do not get that instant gratification. You have to sit here and wait. Like how we've been doing now. It's been over an hour and the analysis has not changed yet. If we were here on a backtesting tool, we would have clicked 20 different buttons and obtained 20 different positions by now, because you can speed up the process. Submitting to time is something that a lot of people don't want to do. Delayed gratification is something that people don't want to do. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. But it's something we're going to have to learn. Why do I choose futures prop firms? Because of futures themselves. It has the least amount of slippage. There's no discrepancy between brokers, right? There's a central database, CME, right? Everybody gets the same information. Unlike forex, where your chart might look different than my chart because you're using different brokers. That discrepancy is not okay. Along with the slippage, futures are very accurate. When you put a limit order at, what is this? When you put a limit order at 21,506, you're going to get filled at 21,506. In forex, if you put a limit order at 21,506, they're going to fill you up here at 21,520. That's another layer of decision making that causes confusion. No, thank you. I'll stick to futures. Now, if there was anybody here that used today's information, you were given plus 60 to 70 points with minimal drawdown. Look at this wick here. About 4 or 5 points of drawdown. And you were given 50 to 80 points. If you're in the trade, I highly suggest taking your profits. 80 points, 60 points on NQ could make a living. Could make an absolute living. It does not need to run all the way to the highs for this to be correct. Nonetheless, we'll continue to keep watching it. We will give about maybe another 15 to 20 minutes before we wrap up stream. So if you do have any other questions or comments, feel free to throw it in chat. How much did you take out of Apex for them to restrict you? I had 2 different 30K withdrawals. Do you feel that networking events such as JadeCap's Miami Workshop is something you need to earn as a trader? No, those are huge learning opportunities and networking opportunities. I had a phenomenal time at the in-person event, so much so that we're setting up another in-person event. I can't provide the details on the next in-person event yet because it's not public, but we will be setting up more events, and this is an amazing time to make the connections, obtain some education, and network with people in the industry. We got to sit down with many traders of many different levels and discussed many different topics, along with the connections that were made. Being able to talk to people that you probably won't get a chance to talk to. It was a very good opportunity, in my opinion. What advice would I give my younger self about trading? First thing is patience. Patience, patience, patience. Being able to deal with delayed gratification. Knowing that what you should focus on is working hard and giving it your all every single opportunity you get. Instead of thinking that you should get some kind of instant gratification or even thinking that you should get the results that you desire. Being capable of working your hardest without results. A lot of people are result driven and their work ethic depends on it. In my opinion, that's not how it should be. You should show up and work your hardest no matter the results. You should show up and work your hardest no matter how long it takes you. The morals, the ethics behind that will bring you so much further in life than, having some euphoric kind of instant gratification. Why would Apex restrict you instead of sending you to a live account? Well, prop firms need stop losses as well. That's exactly what a stop loss is for a prop firm. How do you express professionalism in this business? By providing value any single chance you can, because it shows that your ethics and your morals are about helping other people, that you're working on your own business instead of being the person that provides opinions, says negative things to other people. Right? All the people that are on social media or in Discord arguing with you, telling you you're wrong, or calling you names, or judging you on your experience. What does that get them? Nothing. Instead, you could be using that time more wisely, working on your business. Apex is worrying with your experience. I have 4 evals currently. Do you have any advice on this, Ash? Do not fall into any emotions. Your experience is your experience. Just because that happened to me does not mean that's going to happen to you. Be objective to your own experience. Just focus on working hard. Right? Worrying about a prop firm, and then that kind of emotion induces you to do something you shouldn't, like rush to a certain result, is bad for trading. That's exactly why they're a prop firm, because people feel that way, and then they go below accounts, and that's where they make money. So just focus on completing your business and working your hardest. Everything else is noise. So you don't follow the 930 Judas. Is there any fixed time that you use to find the unicorn model? Yeah, I highly suggest you go through my unicorn model playlist. That is exactly what I do. So I'm not sure why you're saying I don't follow that. At the opening time, I look for a unicorn. That is exactly what I do. What's the reason why you chose the breaker block below and not the breaker block above? Anytime a new swing low is swept, you would have a new breaker block. Ready? Since we're looking at a long position, we'll do it right here. Swing low, swing high, new low, new high. Here's a breaker block. Ready? Highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity, and you need an FVG aligned with it. Here's your first example. Here's your second example. When there's multiple swing lows swept. Swing low, swing high, swing low. We did not displace through the breaker block. We create another new swing low. Swing high. We do not displace through the breaker block. We create another new swing low. And then we displace through the breaker block. Ready? Swing low swept here. The moment in time this swing low is swept, I'm no longer looking at this. The moment in time this swing low is swept, I'm no longer... Why can't I grab this thing? I'm no longer looking at this. Anytime a new swing low is swept, you would have a new breaker block, right? In this situation, the breaker block would be right here. Okay, so now let's go to actual price action. and let's do it. Right? We'll even do the replay. Ready? So price is moving. We get a stop hunt. Perfect. There's your swing low being swept. Highest up close candle before the leg down that took liquidity would be right here. Okay. Price never displaces through it. Instead, it sweeps another swing low. I'm no longer looking at the previous information. I'm not looking at that anymore because you use the most recent information. So I'm no longer looking at this. I would just delete it right off the screen. Now we have new information. This would be the breaker block. Right, and now it goes through the breaker block. Use the most recent information. Ash, was there any point in your trading career where you thought of quitting? Or where this is... Excuse me, I don't know why I can't read correctly. Ash, was there any point in your trading career thinking of quitting or this is going nowhere? Yeah, many, many times. I really hope everybody understands that I'm a normal human being. I am just like everybody else here. I've had many losses, many blown accounts. I've gone through all of the ups and downs that everybody else has. That's what being a trader is. If anybody else tells you otherwise, I highly disagree with them. There is no such thing as perfection. There will be nobody in this world that has a 100% win rate. That is not real. So if you ever hear that, please walk the other way. Everybody fails. Everybody has losing experiences. It's the individual that will get up and try again, no matter the results, that will still be standing here. Those are the people that will find profitability because you have to go through those experiences to learn. There's nothing easy about this. It's going to be a battle every single day, every single year. It's still a battle, and I'm in my 7th year. It's still hard. There's nothing easy about this business. But if you can have the mental fortitude and the emotional intelligence to continue to keep working no matter the outcome, that's when you're going to find progress. My reason why was stronger than the reason how. That's why I'm still standing here. If you're struggling, do you think your model is a good fit? There's a difference between a profitable edge and the correct psychology or emotional intelligence. You got to differentiate the two. I could give you a profitable edge. That does not mean that you are going to be profitable. There's a difference between executing and a profitable edge. I can show you something that works majority of the time. That does not mean you're going to implement it properly every single time you use it. So understand the two differences, and you need to look at both of them. Is it the model or is it you? Ash, I joined the premium group this past Sunday, and the engagement you give to the community is amazing. It's more of use than it is you and I see in chat regularly throughout the day. I greatly appreciate the kind words. I'm a firm believer that You have to put the energy into the world that you would want in return for yourself. I spend the majority of my days here. I'm going to give you guys my all, as you can see how active I am in the Discords, because that's what I would want for myself. I would want somebody there answering the questions when I had them. So that's how I treat it. Would you use a unicorn that formed before 9:30? No, I look to confirm my criteria during the time that I execute. I want my entry function to occur during my hunting hours. Do I ever cry? Yeah, I cry all the time. Amazing question. Thank you for the contribution. All right. On that note, I'm going to begin to wrap up stream. There was no position here for me today. I do not participate from Wednesday to Friday of non-farm payroll week. Very good job being objective to market structure, as we had stated during our game plan. We developed a game plan by looking at the daily and understanding that we had a neutral bias because there was no clear information. For that reason, we had a neutral bias and we were being objective to price action and market structure. That's why we're here on the 15-minute chart. That's why we've been on the 15-minute chart for the entire day. What was being objective to price action is this right here. It's very clean, equal highs to use that as a draw on liquidity. And to reach that draw on liquidity, we had our entry function, a bullish unicorn here. Look at the opportunity it gave during New York Open. Right, it gave one entry during the 10 a.m. candle with minimal drawdown. And now it's sitting at plus 80 points in profit. So I'll leave that plus 80 points with you guys. If you took this position today, take your profits and be done. Be satisfied with enough. Close up shop and go hit the gym. It's now your responsibility that if you got green today, to stay green. Overtrading is not acceptable. Handing back your hard-earned work is not acceptable. Go do anything else with your day. That's exactly what I'll be doing. I'm going to head over to the gym now, and I will see you guys in Discord. Thank you for everybody that was here today. I greatly appreciate all of the conversations and all of the questions. I will see you guys in the Discord. Have a nice day, everyone.